This is one of those labs where the times put in before lab will probably be a bit more than the actual time in the lab. It's a fun lab. You can see the pH of salts, but it won't take a long period of time. So there is a lot of prep math work that you need to do ahead of time. When you get your report sheet, you'll notice that some of it's already filled in. So right here, you need to go through each one of these salts and you need to figure out their molar masses. It's totally fine if you just want to Google it. Just make sure you actually got the correct compound when you Googled it. There is a salt at the end that, well, there's two in the mix, and they are hydrates. And just as a reminder, if we had NaCl and it was like the 2-hydrate form of it, then the whole thing's molar mass matters. So if this part adds up to being 58.44, you're going to add in 2 times the 18.01 to get the new molar mass. So in hydrates, those waters do matter. Note though, when we do ice charts and everything, as soon as you put these in water, the waters fall off of the compound, and you really are just looking at that and how that thing splits apart in water. And if you remember, that splits apart into some Na pluses floating around and some Cl minuses floating around. So salts that are ionic salts, which are the salts we're dealing with, positives with negative parts, they will split apart in water. Some of them will react with the water and some of them will not. So make sure you fill in all the molar masses going down. Secondly, you're going to do a calculation. Every single one of these has the same 100 milliliter volumetric flask that you're going to be using. So if it's a 100 milliliter, it's 100.00, by the way, milliliter volumetric flask, what you need to do is calculate how many grams of that salt you need. So we convert the 100 milliliters into the 0.1 liters. That's a pretty easy conversion right there. And then you're going to do the molarity. And so you'll notice right here, this molarity term, this comes from this number here. So that won't be the same for every one of these. Like this one's 0.18, this one's 0.28. So they don't have that same molarity going down, but they will all start with the same 100 milliliters because you're going to be making 100 milliliter round bottom flask solutions. And then this is the molar mass. And again, if you already have it written down right here, then you're just going to be multiplying by that number. You can see how the units cancel. So my liters cancel with my liters, and then my moles cancels with my moles, which is why I have that. Now, you want to round this to the correct number of sig figs. And so notice it's the molarity that's actually limiting. That has 2 sig figs. So when I actually write the answer, it's going to be this. So on the pre-lab quiz, what kind of math should you expect from this section? You will have 2 questions that will be the molar masses, and you literally have them right here on your pre-lab sheet. So make sure you do on the lab report sheet. Go ahead and do that section. One of them will be a hydrate, so make sure you're completely clear and you're good with the molar masses of the hydrates. Make sure you round them to 2 decimal places. That's generally what we do for all of our molar masses. So when you put your answers in on this section, make sure it's rounded to 2 decimal places. And then make sure in this section that the mass of the NAF is rounded to 2 sig figs. And you want to put it in on the quiz in 2 sig figs. Want to make sure that we see this. So you're going to actually upload a picture of this table with this filled in as one of the questions on the quiz also. So you only get credit for this if you actually have the math for all of these going downwards. But also you get credit for the molar mass. You're going to get a lot of questions right as long as you just go ahead and do the work ahead of time. So you'll get most, if not all, of the pre-lab quiz done correctly, but you kind of have your own time to work on it. You also need to make sure that you're taking notes during these videos and that that's shown somewhere on some kind of a piece of paper that you're going to also upload to that pre-lab quiz. So make sure you take notes. All right, let's look at the other math in the next video.